Hello guys and welcome back to Car Obsession. As I'm sure you all know, or you ought to know, I am a big petrol head, which is why I set up this channel. I drive a Mazda MX-5, cue the hairdresser jokes, and I also drive a sporty hatchback. So yes, I'm a man who likes his cars and I like to drive. However, I am a bit of a dinosaur in the fact that eventually petrol cars will die out, and I love internal combustion engines, and I love everything that goes with them. And that leads me quite nicely onto the car I'm testing this week. So I'm leaving the MX-5 here because I'm testing the brand new Nissan Leaf, which is just to my left hand side here. So I'm going to be doing this video is going to be a vlog of what it is like for a petrol head to live with an electric car. I have driven an electric car twice before. I've driven a Tesla Model X and also a Hyundai Kona electric, but they were short drives. I'm going to be driving this car, the Leaf, for a full week. So this vlog is all about what is it like for me, a petrol head, to live with an electric car. So let me quickly show you around the car. So here it is. So this is the mid-range Nctrnm model, finished in spring cloud green. I haven't made that colour up, that is literally what it is called. And I think it looks okay. It looks a lot better than the previous Nissan Leaf, which I thought looked a little bit sad and tragic, but of course looks will always be subjective. Let me come around here, mind all of that rubbish there, just ignore that. And there we are. Yeah, I think it looks a lot better than it did before. It actually looks like a proper car, whereas I don't know about you, but when you look at the old Nissan Leaf, you could kind of tell it was an electric car. It didn't look like a conventional car, whereas this, if this had a petrol engine underneath or a diesel, you wouldn't think twice. Now let me show you inside. Let me come around the driver's side and let me take you inside. The inside is quite nice. Be careful not to ding my own car, that would be quite a big faux pas. Ugh. Right, so let me turn the car on, like so. Got a nice digital display here. There we are, got a touchscreen here. And you've got your drive select here, which is quite nice. So pop it forward, pop it into reverse, that way to pop it into drive. And then if you want to park it, you just hit the P button, which, there we are, just hit P. And it parks, quite handy. You've got an electric parking brake as well. And I've got a good specification in here. Common auto-focused. I've got heated seats. I've got climate control. So this car is £27,865. So yes, as standard, I've got 17-inch alloys, front fog lights, LED signature rear lights, privacy glass, leather steering wheel, 7-inch TFT screen, which is that screen there. 6 airbags, intelligent trace control, lane departure warning. Yeah, I've got a lot of standard. I've also got these rather nice seats. I've got fabric, and I think this is faux leather. I don't think it's real leather. I'd have to have a look. Yeah, it's synthetic part leather. So yeah, but it looks quite nice. It's got a nice design to it. I really like the blue stitching. Let me give you a look there. Right, what else do I get? Let's see. I get parking sensors. I also get the oh, I can't think of what it's called. I get the around view monitor. I don't think that's the actual. Oh, there we go. It's an intelligent around view monitor. So if I pop it into reverse, oh, you can see I get like angles. I get a bird's eye view, and I've got the rear parking camera as well. Very handy indeed. I'm a big fan of that. Pop it back into park, like so. I've got cruise control. I've got intelligent cruise control, in fact. Faster heater, 6 speakers. I've got Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and I've got a 7-inch touchscreen at my disposal. There we are. So let me quickly show you around. Got 2 cup holders here, a door bin with a cup holder as well. So the interior is pretty much like any standard hatchback. Glove boxes of a good size. Yeah, not bad at all. Now, I haven't properly set the car up for my driving position, so I'm not going to do rear space just yet. Oh, I must admit that is quite disappointing. The steering wheel only adjusts for rake and not reach. Okay, it's not perfect, it's not ideal, but never mind. And then we get rid of that. It's just a thing saying charge it from the depot I picked up from. This also has the E-pedal, which basically when you're driving along, I do have a brake and an accelerator. There we are. I don't know why I'm holding on to the brake for dear life. Basically, the E-pedal, when you're accelerating, when you lift up, the car brakes itself, which I tested it around here, around this depot, and it does feel a little bit alien, but I'm sure I will get used to it. Yeah, there we are. Just a quick look, because like I said, I do really need to get a move on, because I should have left by now, but it took me longer to get here than anticipated, and I had to get through security and everything. We've just spotted a little cubby hole in there. Not too bad. I really like the blue stitching, it's really nice. Right, so I'm going to attach some GoPros and hit the road. Right, so before I set off, let me tell you the specifications. So I have a 40 kilowatt battery, which produces 150 horsepower with, what's the torque? 0 to 62 is a respectable 7.9 seconds. Top speed is 89.5 miles per hour. And the torque is 320 Newton meters. And the range, let's see, they've done it in kilometers. Ah, there are miles. So 168 miles on a full charge. And away we go in the mighty Nissan Leaf. I've got a reversing camera and an around view monitor, yet I'm doing it the old way. I always do that. Well, oh, so I've got the E-pedal turned on. So yeah, so basically I've got the my foot on the accelerator, not fully down, and then as I lift off, the car slows itself down, which that is a little bit strange. It is quite alien. I'm actually going to turn that off for the time being, so I want to get used to the car first. I want to get myself comfortable as well. I like to sit quite low down. There we are. It's the lowest it goes. There we go. We are in business. We are cooking with gas. Right. So first impressions, very easy to drive. Obviously there's no engine noise because there is no engine. On this slightly broken surface, it rides quite well. It's quite smooth and easy going. Then yeah, I feel pretty comfortable. There we are. I do feel like I'm sat a little too high, but that's more of a personal complaint. Oh, cone in the road, that's always handy. The steering feels quite light, which isn't really to my taste, but it does make it easy to manoeuvre. Aha, national speed limit. So let's see what this car's like when you put your foot down. Blimey, that's quite instant. That's one of the good thing about electric cars, the power. You don't have to wait for it. It's delivered to you virtually instantly. It is like flicking a light switch. And before you know it, I'm making good progress down here. My range is 133 miles according to the trip computer, and that'll be plenty to get me to where I need to be, which is good. Handling isn't too bad either. There's a little bit of body roll, but let's face it, this car was not designed to be the last word in handling. However, so far, it's quite a pleasant drive. Do I think I'd be converted by this car to EV motoring? No, but I really do hope it broadens my mind and kind of sheds a light on what the benefits of electric driving are and what they actually are like to live with. I'll be honest, I'm too set in my ways. I will always go for a car with an engine as opposed to a car with a battery. However, there may be a point in life where I have no choice but to drive an electric car, or at least some form of hybrid. Mind you, if it's like this, then I don't think it'll be the end of the world. And of course, you've got electric supercars nowadays. You've got the Rimac, of course, which Richard Hammond famously crashed last year, or was it the year before? You've also got cars like the Ferrari LaFerrari, which have got hybrid powertrains, the McLaren P1, and of course the Porsche 918 Spider. So I think from a petrol head's point of view, it's quite easy to look at electric cars or hybrids and not so much run away from them, but be like, oh well, it's not the same kind of motoring. Oh, things are going to change once we've got hybrids and electric cars. Motoring will never be the same again, and to a degree, I suppose it won't be the same again. But that isn't to say it will be a negative impact. I'm sure car manufacturers will make ways to find electric cars exciting and interesting, and well, as I mentioned a few moments ago, you've got the Rimac. That is very exciting until you take it up a Swiss hill climb. Now, originally I was going to do this video as one part, but I think I'm going to have quite a lot to say about this car and my experience with it. Therefore, I anticipate there may be more than one part. So I really want to give you as much of my thoughts and opinion on this car as I possibly can. Some of you may not care what I have to say about this car, but I'd like to think there are a good chunk of you which are interested in what I have to say about the Nissan Leaf. And so far, I would like to say that I think this is a good example of what electric motoring should be. It feels like your conventional hatchback. I've got lots of mod cons in here, so I don't feel as if, oh no, I can't use that because my range will go down. It's good having an electric car which hasn't been stripped of goodies and technology. So I like that. I would want the range to be a little bit higher, if I'm going to be honest, because it's not as good as the Hyundai Kona electric that has well over 200 miles of range, and if anything it's closer to 300 miles than it is 200. Do I need to change lane? I do. So I've covered 52.6 miles, but bearing in mind I didn't reset the trip computer after about a mile after I left the depot. So yeah, I've done about 54 miles, and I've got 50% left. At the moment, the range is displaying 73 miles. There we are. So that means that if I were to keep going at the rate I am, I've got to do some quick mathematics. So that would mean I would have had a range of about 127 miles, which isn't too bad. Obviously, it's not as good as the official figure of 168, but I have had the climate control on, I've had the heated seats on, I've had the cruise control on, I've had the heated steering wheel on, so I have had a lot of features activated whilst I've been driving, and plus I'm still getting used to driving this car, so I haven't really been driving it as God, I really need a coffee or a cup of tea, some form of caffeine or food, some sustenance. Let me try that again. I haven't been driving this as economically as I probably could have done. God, we got there in the end. Yeah. I have to say, on first impressions, the Nissan Leaf has got a fair amount to offer. This drive back from Bicester to back to London hasn't given me any troubles whatsoever. The ride has been comfortable, got a good amount of kit. The car is easy to drive. The Pro Pilot has been most welcome on this drive because it has made it a fair bit easier. So yes, overall impressions are good. I will of course give you more updates and more parts to this journey. Well, not this journey, but you know what I mean, the journey of having the car for a week. So that concludes part 1. If I'm going to be honest,
in about 300 yards, speed camera.
Good. If I'm going to be honest, I'm not too sure how many parts there will be, because I was originally going to do it as one video, but because I've done quite a lot of talking in this video, I actually now feel as if there needs to be a few parts to my experience with the Nissan Leaf. So yes, I shall leave it there. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it or you've found it informative or helpful, be sure to give it a massive thumbs up. If you are subscribed, don't forget to click that bell icon so you get notified every time I make a video. And if you aren't subscribed, please do so, because you'll be up to date with my thoughts on the Nissan Leaf, or indeed you can just check out my other videos. So yes, until then, see you soon, and be sure to subscribe for more car obsession.